Hi guys, JT here, and today we're bringing you some information on the Humble Bundle ScreenTime Together Bundle of April 2023. To help you answer the question, should you buy it? If you want to know more about game bundles, feel free to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps the channel out. Anyway, let's get into this. At number 1 we have Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, a crossover fighting game that is similar to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, but with Nickelodeon characters. The game includes a satisfying roster of over 20 characters from multiple eras of Nickelodeon, each with unique playstyles, taunts, and poses based on internet memes. The gameplay is Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl's strength. The platform fighting mechanics play like Super Smash Bros. You attack other characters to increase their damage percentage, while you become more vulnerable when you have a high percentage, and jump around with freedom. Normal attacks come in light and heavy varieties, and there's a rock paper scissors system to determine priority. You can keep moving and jumping after grabbing your opponent and block indefinitely, but breaking a block near the ledge opens the blocker up to serious punishment. Each character has its own special attacks, making the gameplay diverse and fun. While all might seem great, unfortunately the developer's modest budget affected the production value, making the game look decent but rough, with wonky character models, and it started its life with no voice acting for the characters. Thankfully, voice acting was added later on with a free update. The soundtrack tries to evoke the instruments and musical styles of each show, but lacks classic theme songs. In conclusion, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl is a delightfully silly crossover that is also a legitimately great fighting game. Its roster, gameplay mechanics, and addictive improv feel make it a game worth playing despite its occasional subpar wrapper. Its passion for Nickelodeon is evident, and while it falls short in certain areas, it is still a diamond in the rough. Get it? That's from Aladdin, which is totally not from Nickelodeon. At number 2 we have Cobra Kai, the Karate Kid Saga continues. A tie-in beat-em-up game based around the Netflix series. It will bring you back to your childhood while also propelling you to the future of a beloved series. You'll love playing as students and masters from both Miyagi-Do Karate and Cobra Kai Dojo. If you're an OG Miyagi-Do fan, that's where you should start. The first mission takes you through the familiar golf and stuff from the movies and TV show, where you start as Sam and quickly learn how to play. If you go with Cobra Kai, you'll play as Miguel and learn from that side of the story. The game's progression system is a great feature that improves your character's fighting abilities and powers. You can also level up your dojo, which adds an RPG element to the game, and lets you feel more involved in how your personal story evolves. Another mechanic that enhances this involvement is the ability to switch between members of the dojo at any time during your run. This is crucial if your character is hurt, because you can switch to a fresh fighter to take out the bad guys. You can also use your dojo skills, a special attack for your fighters that varies between each character. The music and voice recordings in the game are on point with the genre for the films and the time period itself. The songs from the show are timeless, and some of the most iconic in movie history. The voiceovers by most of the main cast are also excellent, which helps tie the game to the TV show. One downside to the game is the movement portion of the combat. You can only punch and kick in one way or another, to the left or right, and you cannot attack at an angle, which is limiting. Punching and kicking are in a straight line, and the only way to attack multiple people at once is by using the dojo skill or moving around the screen until all the enemies are grouped together for your murdering kicks and hits to land. However, this doesn't take away from the overall enjoyment of the game. If you're a fan of the Karate Kid universe, you'll definitely want to check this game out. It's a great way to crane kick your way back into the world of 80s nostalgia. And number 3 we have My Little Pony, a Maretime Bay adventure. A kid's game that teaches important lessons about inclusion and acceptance. This game involves going around as a pony from My Little Pony, collecting items, jumping platforms, and dressing up. The game also includes a random rhythm section in the middle of the game, herding bunnies and crabs, and buying fashion items for your pony. The graphics are quite good, and the animations are crisp and resemble the source material to an impressive T. The biggest markup for this game is the story and message behind it. The story teaches kids about understanding and accepting everyone for who they are, even if they're seemingly different from the norm. It's also a story about how people can learn and change, and that they're not inherently bad people. The message is important, especially in a time where the internet can be quite a harmful tool for young and easily influenced minds. I mean, have you seen the comment wars on YouTube and Reddit recently? Oof. Overall, My Little Pony, a Maritime Bay adventure, may be a simple play and completion for adults, but it is still enjoyable. The lessons taught in the game are key, and are really important for a younger demographic, and it does look great as a whole. This game should definitely be a pickup for most kids, and some adults should consider adding this to their library as well. I know that there are some adult My Little Pony collectors out there, so this is a great opportunity for you. If nothing else, it's a pretty easy achievement list, without ever feeling completely condescending. And number 4 we have Ben 10 Power Trip, an action-adventure game that takes place on a European-inspired family vacation. The game introduces Ben's nemesis, Hex, who has acquired powerful crystals that can strip Ben of his alien powers. Hex fails to complete his plan, and Ben still has a chance to save the world by finding the remaining crystals. With the help of Gwen, Ben catches up to Hex and tries to stop him in time. The tutorial missions will help you get a hang of controlling Ben 10 and switching between his alien powers when necessary. You start with Ben 10, and you can regain stolen alien abilities by completing Void Rift missions. These voids act as a way out of a seemingly closed-off environment, and provide an introduction to whichever alien is there to collect. You can fight off minion enemies and learn about the unique abilities of each alien. Combat is simple in Ben 10 Power Trip, with alternation between heavy and lighter attacks. As you progress, the fights and enemies get faster and more challenging. You have the opportunity to choose your level up skill between damage resistance, increased damage dealt, or luck. The boss fights become enjoyable when you have all of the aliens at your disposal. Ben 10 Power Trip is an open world game, with side missions and activities scattered throughout. As an example, one of the side activities is shutting down Lord Decibel's world tour by avoiding Hypnotiles and reaching the stage. There are also puzzles to solve. You can also fast travel to locations once discovered. The game offers a split screen co-op mode where you can let Ben 10's frenemy, Kevin, tag along. So if you're a fan of the Ben 10 universe, young or old, this game is for you. And number 5 we have Paw Patrol the Movie, Adventure City Calls, a family-friendly adventure game featuring characters from the movie. When Ryder and the Paw Patrol learn that Mayor Humdinger has taken over a buzzing metropolis, they must race into action to save Adventure City from his selfish scheming. This game manages to be incredibly simple, while still offering enough gameplay variety and personality to keep young players engaged. The 8 levels of the game see players make their way through various areas of Adventure City, with 3D platforming sections that are simple enough for even the youngest players to enjoy. In between these sections, the game throws in a variety of minigames and quicktime events to keep things interesting. And there's even a co-op mode that allows players to navigate levels and pick up collectibles as a team. While there are a few technical issues, including occasional crashes and subpar AI for the AI-controlled pup in single-player modes, the overall experience of Paw Patrol the Movie, Adventure City Calls, is solid. The game's minigames are not groundbreaking, but they offer players an option of instant gratification on a specific type of play. The game's simple mechanics, nice mix of gameplay, and pleasant visuals make it a great choice for young fans of Paw Patrol. It's not a game for grown-up players, but for children, it's a great game that can be recommended. If you're looking for a game that hits its target audience of children under 7 years old, Paw Patrol the Movie, Adventure City Calls is a great option. And number 6 we have Jumanji the Video Game. Right off the bat, it isn't very good. This game is a constant letdown of repetitive gameplay and boring recycled levels. The lack of content or backstory in the game can leave you feeling confused, especially if you haven't seen the movies. You'll be able to choose from 4 different maps, which all have the same objective, that is to return a jewel to the statue at the finish. The controls are straightforward, but there's no jump button, which may seem like a missed opportunity. The game's visuals are also dated, and the lack of original voice actors is noticeable, which can break immersion. It would have been nice to actually have The Rock asking if anybody can smell what he's cooking. The in-game music and levels feel copied and pasted, with maps being repeated in nighttime and in reverse, making them feel too similar. Despite the game being aimed at preteens, it may not even appeal to them. The game can be played locally with friends or AI-controlled players, but finding an online game can be challenging. Playing with your kids might be enjoyable for the first few minutes, but the repetitive gameplay and characters repeating the same one-liners over and over again can quickly become boring. Overall, Jumanji the Video Game is a disappointment, and is unlikely to provide the same excitement and adventure that the movies do. It feels like a trap that your grandparents may buy for you for Christmas, only for you to be utterly disappointed wanting to pull your ears out once you actually start playing. If you're looking for a fun and exciting video game based around the beloved Jumanji franchise, then Jumanji the Video Game is not for you. And number 7 we have Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2 Grand Prix. A kart racing game that features a wide range of characters from popular Nickelodeon shows, such as SpongeBob SquarePants, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Rugrats. The game offers a variety of game modes, including single-player races, local multiplayer, and online multiplayer. The gameplay mechanics are standard for kart racing games, with players using power-ups to murder other drivers while vying for the top spot. Pretty standard stuff. The controls are easy to learn, and the game offers a variety of customization options, allowing players to upgrade their karts. Like in the 3rd installment, Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2 features a plethora of characters from the Nickelodeon cartoons. Fans of the show will love seeing their favorite characters in the game, and will appreciate the attention to detail in each character's design and animations. The game offers a variety of tracks, each of its unique challenges and obstacles, which are inspired by popular Nickelodeon shows. The game also features a variety of power-ups that players can use to boost themselves or murder their opponents with. These power-ups range from speed boosts to weapons that you can use to attack your opponents. The game's single-player mode offers a good amount of content, with players able to unlock new characters, tracks, and customization options as they progress through the game. The local multiplayer mode is also a lot of fun, allowing up to 4 players to race against each other on the same screen. One potential downside of Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2 is its online multiplayer mode. While it is nice to see an online multiplayer mode, it can be frustrating at times due to the lack of players. Overall, Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2 Grand Prix is a fun and entertaining kart racing game that offers a unique take on the genre. With its wide range of characters, tracks, and game modes, it offers an enjoyable experience for players of all ages. If you're a fan of Nickelodeon shows or just looking for a fun kart racing game, then Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2 is definitely worth checking out. And number 8 we have Little League World Series Baseball 2022, a licensed video game counterpart of the annual baseball event, and the game's developers Iguana B has done a good job with its release. The batting and pitching mechanics are excellent, and the game provides a simple and intuitive batting interface, offering a high level of control and precision without being too complicated. The pitching system is just as well done, easy to understand, and provides a challenge on higher difficulty levels. The game's visuals and presentation are also impressive, with a comic book and anime hybrid style that works well for a Little League game. The stadium's renditions and player models are fun and alive, and the animations and player movements are solid. However, the fielding and throwing mechanics leave much to be desired. The camera choices are not helpful for fielding, and it can be challenging to understand which fielder is being controlled. The input recognition system for throwing is inconsistent, and the player who should be standing at the plate or base is often somewhere else, which makes throwing to them difficult. Fielding the ball is also often a guessing game, and proper positioning can result in a base hit instead of an easy fly ball. Although the problems with the fielding and throwing mechanics can be frustrating, the game's strong points make it an enjoyable experience overall. And number 9 we have Gigantosaurus The Game, one of the 2 mystery games from this bundle, hopefully. If you're looking for a game that's designed specifically for kids, Gigantosaurus The Game is a great option. Even if you're not the target audience, the gentle platforming and logic puzzles will provide enough of a challenge to keep younger children entertained. The game is entirely non-violent, so you don't have to worry about exposing your kids to excessive violence. The game is based on the Disney Junior show, and follows 4 pals, Tiny, Mazu, Rocky, and Bill, as they navigate their prehistoric world and help out the residents. Along the way, you'll collect lost dinosaur eggs, plant seeds, and race karts. The kart racing mode is particularly enjoyable, with Mario Kart-style power-ups and speed boosts. The game's graphics are bright and colorful, and the characters are designed to be inviting and safe for young children. The game's themes of teamwork, self-belief, and exploration are easy for kids to grasp, and the game's simplicity makes it easy for them to play without getting confused or feeling unsure. Overall, Gigantosaurus The Game is a genuinely pleasant and likable game that's designed entirely for younger gamers. It presents a decent challenge for youngsters at a level that allows other children in the family to help out, and manages to not be irritating to parents at the same time. So if you're looking for a fun game that's appropriate for young children, Gigantosaurus The Game is definitely worth checking out. And number 10 we have Fast and Furious Spy Racers Rise of Shifter. It is a racing game aimed at a younger audience that focuses heavily on drifting in order to turn on sharp corners. The game's narrative revolves around you, Tony Toretto, who has been enlisted by a government agency to penetrate a criminal group named Shifter. You and your pals are entrusted with completing 5 tasks in spy tournament mode that culminate in a face-off with Shifter's boss, in order to prevent them from obtaining the ultimate high-tech vehicle. The game has moderately well-crafted physics, and is far from being a racing sim because of its colorful aesthetics, and the fact that there are items that you can use both offensively and defensively. It has its own gameplay loop, where you must drive your car through well-designed urban locales, drifting and performing tricks to fill up your special meter, and each car has 4 different kinds of special moves. The progression system is simple, and you can win currency every time you win a race, and use it to buy skins, music, and new characters at the Yoka shop. The game also has its issues, with most of them stemming from its presentation, which is not exactly visually appealing, but it runs well enough during races. The voice acting in the game is not entirely bad, but characters often utter annoying one-liners while racing, which can be loud and poorly mixed. Fast and Furious Spy Racers Rise of Shifter is not only not bad, but actually a pretty good and even occasionally challenging action-packed racer. It may not be the most newcomer-friendly racer, especially considering its core audience, but if you're looking for something a bit more challenging than Mario Kart, but still nowhere near as realistic as Forza, you could do a lot worse. And that's all for this bundle. This bundle is great if you want to play some video games together with your younger family members or wanting to keep them entertained for a short while. Although there's a number of repeats in this, even from recent indie bundles. Anyway, if you want to buy me a coffee, you can now do that in the link in the description. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.